Have you ever had this weird thought of leaving all of this and just going off to the mountains?
Many times. Then I look at my husband and he's like, oh, I didn't marry this girl. Now I have to live with this girl.
You got married when you were in the corporate girl era.
Yes. That man has really gone through some other level of consciousness involvement because of me. Because he has, in our marriage, like he has seen like me changing drastically, and he's tried to like really accommodate with this. Like imagine, you marrying someone who is at that point in time like sort of marries your thought process, someone who fits right in. Like obviously, but then that changes. There are also talks about the impermanence of everything, right? Like how you believe that this person you are all your life, all my 27 years of life, whatever time I've had, I thought this is me, and then it suddenly changes and I stop identifying with it. Not completely, but yeah, many areas you stop identifying. But the person who's with you is also going through that.
Yeah.
So one of the questions I really hope that would come is, what should a grahastha or someone who's married do? Is I want to tell this to everyone that if you are married, your marriage is as much as important as your sadhana. Marriage is your sadhana. So even though such sort of thoughts come, I am a grahastha, I love my husband, I think because of him, I am in this path in the first place. If that man had not come to my life, I wouldn't have come on this path. So he's very much a part of my sadhana. He is my sadhana. I often call him, he is my Shiva. He is my Shiva. So that's what a grahastha should do, man or woman. The other day, my eyes welled up. I heard Premanand Babaji's talking about कि प्यार ही तो करना है, अपने पार्टनर में क्यों नहीं दिखता तुम्हें भगवान? If you can love the God, and if you can love your partner with the same feeling, you will see God in your partner as well. So if there is a God, it's in your partner only. And that's what I like really deeply connected to. And I felt that, one of the perspective shifts I've had on this journey is I stopped looking at my husband as a human being. I started looking at him as like, he's my Shiva.
Wow.
He's my, because the way he has been with me on this journey, even though going through so many fluctuations himself, seeing me, and he's still being there with me, only God can do that.
It's so beautiful to actually hear this from somebody who's on a completely different path, right? Like path to seek the truth. Generally, people want to give up on all the worldly things, but you say it's just as equally important as your sadhana. Why do you think these days marriages don't sustain for a really long time? What do you think has fundamentally like shaken up the marriage system right now?
I really feel that again, there is always a conflict between your conscious and subconscious mind when it comes to a human being, right? So your conscious mind paints a picture of the person you want, right? But subconscious had always a different idea. The conflict is not because somebody is bad or somebody is good. The conflict is because this conflict is inside us. The kind of person you want to marry is a picture painted by your conscious mind based on what your surface level likes, dislikes are, based on the financial statuses nowadays, based on many other impermanent things.
Right.
Your subconscious does not lie and does not look for impermanent things in the first place. That's when the disagreements happen, So many situations come where, let's say, your conscious mind said, I want to marry a very successful woman. What if that woman is not successful tomorrow? What if she fails? She's not that person. So then what will happen? The subconscious will begin to rise.
Okay.
And say, no, I actually didn't want to marry a successful woman. I wanted to marry a woman who loves me. Nonetheless. Okay. So that's a conflict. It's not because humans are changing or because someone is good or bad. It's because your own clarity is fading off.
Okay.
We are so driven with the external world that, again, I'll bring that example to you. We have stopped at differentiating between a casual, intercourse over a night and an intimate, true love.
Yeah.
right? So there is a difference between two, and I think that's where it's because of our own conflicts the marriages don't work.
Right. So when we work on ourselves, the marriages will work on itself.
Yeah, trust me. Now, that being said, that is the work of both the partners. It's
True.
not like, okay, I am working and the other partner is not working. No,
Right.
like, so that has to be me and my husband in a way. We are poles apart.
Mm.
Poles apart.
Mm.
You know, our idea of spirituality is different. Our choices are, even though our eating habits are different, what we do in our lives, our paths to career is different. But both of us share the same love, the same respect for each other, the same faith and trust that we have. These are the things we saw in each other when we met. Both of us were absolutely nowhere in life when we met, and both of us are together standing on the same step of the ladder.
Wow.
Both of us left our jobs to follow our passion and ambition. Both of us manifested this life together, and we made it happen. God made it happen because we had faith, love, and trust. Now that does not come at a cost.
That's true. That's true.
You can have a big wedding, but still not have a marriage. There's a difference between the two. That my husband taught me.
That's so
That
profound.
Grisha, we can have a grand wedding, but then marriage is not what wedding is. Wedding
Wow.
is just an event. Marriage is a bond of life. He's a very evolved person.